want to me do. Boda Sodiq, will you promise me not to touch? Oh, that jaw. Boda Sodiq, I just had a sip of liquor. Give me lolly, give me cashy, give me lolly, give me cashy, give me lolly. Did you have to give me lolly? Oh, give me lolly, give me cashy, give me lolly, give me cashy, give me lolly. Did you have to give me lolly? Oh, boys got us. What happened? Your boys got us. Boys got us. What happened? In your boys got us. Did you have to give me lolly?
Faking she baby, she baby, she baby, she baby, she baby, faking.
So welcome back, guys. This is Creative Maestro, where we show you how to be more creative. And we have the esteemed honor to be joined by Hanna, who is an incredible creative. Hanna, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
And you actually brought up a brilliant point about Gary Vee, and I actually just wanted to go straight into it. What are the type of things that inspire you during your creative process?
It's everything around me, basically. Like I move in many different worlds. I come from a dance background, and the dance styles are Jamaican dance hall, hip hop. I've done some like Broadway stuff too, but that was a long time ago.
Really? That's pretty cool.
And then I also now more and more Afro beats, Afro pop. So those are the my creative background, so to speak, from dance. And then I work with artists as well, singers, graphic designers, and producers, and DJ. I was DJ myself.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's a whole thing in itself.
Exactly. So whenever you come to Stockholm, make sure you hit up Hanna for all your creative needs, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Everything. I don't sing, so I don't do that. But yeah, pretty much everything besides that. And then I also do marketing. So I take inspiration from my peers and social media, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And marketing wise, how have you seen it change from, I guess, the rise of social media, especially the prominence, and essentially everything, like the content being taken as the gospel, or like the best way to reach consumers nowadays?
I mean, also going through my own journey, from not being in the marketing industry and just being a consumer.
Absolutely.
And then now when I, gotten behind the scenes more, I see a lot of positive changes, actually. Because, back in the day, it was TV commercials, and that was just, they send out one message for everyone that sits in front of the TV, and everybody's different. So nowadays it's more custom-made, tailor-made for specific
demographics.
people. Yeah,
Absolutely.
demographics, so.
And I actually do appreciate that as more. You see the work improve, because like you said, it's literally designed for, someone, like imagine someone who didn't like dancehall, who was getting, forwarded advertisements about dancehall. It's not
But
really.
who doesn't like dancehall though?
That's what I say. Right? That's what you and I say. I mean,
But yeah, I get what you mean.
exactly. It's just, this is very interesting. And could you, for the audience, I guess, give them an insight on how marketing and strategy is in Sweden? Because that's Sweden is its own demographic. Sure, it's similar to other areas of Europe, but the Swedes like things a particular way.
Yeah, I mean, I come from also a different perspective because I lived in New York for a long time.
Oh, that's dope.
You're a New Yorker, right?
From New Jersey, so
Yeah.
an hour and a half south of New York.
Yeah. So that's where I kind of developed my marketing skills. So I come from a American's perspective, and also being a minority, and then coming back to Sweden now, like 3 years later, or 3 years ago, and exploring the marketing scene here. It's been interesting, you know, since Sweden is a small country, but it has a lot of, as you know, startups and many famous companies have been, you know, founded here.
Absolutely. I mean,
So there's definitely something in the air or the water or whatever people want to say. But as in every scene, there's a tendency to become, you know, a bubble of, you know, everybody's like, oh, you know, we're the shit. Like Brooklyn, we're the shit. Stockholm, we're the shit.
exactly.
So I've been observing a lot and learning and getting to know people, networking, you know, to see what makes people tick and what makes people not like things and things like that. So it's I don't really like to say, it's more of, as we talked about before, different demographics that are similar around the world. Like I also spent time in Nigeria.
Oh.
So
A big source for Afro beats.
yeah. So that's, I got to combine my interests there.
That's dope.
So of course I see similarities between the youths in Nigeria and in the suburbs of Stockholm and in Brooklyn. You know, it's global.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I see the disconnect between a lot of the companies trying to reach, especially these groups, and you know, yeah, just marketing towards them in a natural way or in a.
Absolutely. And it's basically the brilliant point you brought up earlier is really when you start networking and, you know, you communicate with a lot of people, they really become your inspiration. So different ideas will come to you just from interacting with people. As simple as that, just being social, really.
Yeah. And taking in different content, because like in all things in the beginning, it might seem strange. Like, what are these kids doing? Or what are these different weird dances they're doing? And then we start unpeeling the layers. That's when it gets interesting.
It's true. It's just pure creative expression of, you know, how one feels, how one perceives the world. And I always find things like that fascinating.
Yeah, definitely.
So we see here that you actually had some involvement in Baba's Burgers as well.
Yes.
So I actually went there for the first time on Wednesday. Phenomenal.
Great.
And the crazy part about that is that it was your work and Nino's work, who we'll meet later, that actually reached me all the way in America. It was because of your strategy that I even heard about Baba's in America, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, because that's always most of the time, my mindset when it comes to working with clients, that I want to take them as global as possible.
Thank you. Exactly, right?
I mean, of course, like now I also work with, one of my clients is a yoga studio, so that's more of a local,
Nice.
but still, it's the mindset and the philosophy of a company that's, you know, that's something that people from around the world can relate to. And as you said, like, you heard about it from the US, so and then when you arrived here in Sweden, you went there, so it worked.
It definitely worked. I'm a very satisfied customer. So thank you for that. And yeah, it was just very interesting to see. So I was like, whoa, what is this place? I definitely want to come here. I'm definitely intrigued by that. And like you said, there's so many things that can relate to multiple people global, and it's making it somewhat easier to travel now, you know, barring the coronavirus and things like that. But besides that, people love traveling and experiencing new things. So when you see something that you can identify with and it's a different country, you're definitely going to gravitate towards that.
And as early adapters, so as we call ourselves, we want to go where the locals go. Like, we don't want to go to Sweden and go to McDonald's.
Exactly.
Or I go to New York. Like, I travel around the U.S. and everybody eats at Applebee's or whatever. So
Yeah.
you want to go to the special places that are unique.
Exactly. The holes in the wall, if you will, that only, like you said, only the locals know about. That's really how you're able to truly digest a culture and society, by essentially living how they live. I guess that's what I appreciate the most about Airbnb. So wherever you go, you get to live exactly how you would at home, just in a different country. And then you get to acclimate yourself to the customs. It's always a lot of
Exactly.
fun and discovery.
Exactly. I mean, it's nice to be in hotels sometimes, but it also takes away the authenticity of the place.
It does.
Yeah.
Now, granted, a lot of hotels can be different, but mostly they're usually going to be the same. It's basically a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's a perfect question to ask you. So, Hanna,
Yes.
are you fully freelance now?
I worked like 5 different projects right now, so I guess you can say I'm freelancing.
A lot of irons in the fire, which is always
Yeah.
dope.
Yes.
Nice. And do you mind telling us about each project?
Yeah. So it's the main one where I spend the most time right now is Baba's.
So, Baba's Burgers.
Yes. So I spend like 3 days a week at Baba's Burgers, we're creating content, making strategy.
Nice.
Also working on some like internal organization and new employee branding. Yeah, I kind of do a little bit of everything right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wearing many hats, huh?
Yeah, I do. I usually say like, okay, now I'm wearing my marketing hat and then the DJ hat and the dance hat. And then I work with a singer called Jellica. So she's a singer-songwriter in the pop / reggae world. And then I work with some producers called Mashup International.
Nice.
And also a yoga studio for pregnant ladies.
That's brilliant. Okay.
And then another client, she creates this, it's called cupping. So it's a Chinese.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So she created like cupping on the go, so you can take them with you and do it wherever. So it's a lot of wellness and fitness and music related things I'm working with right now.
Sounds like something very unique to Stockholm.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. Yeah, Sweden is a big music country as well.
And definitely big into wellness. I feel like I see gyms and yoga studios all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. And now, I mean, when I went to Australia, that's when I'm like, okay, here people are really into fitness because they can be outdoors all the time. Like they go on their lunch breaks. Here in Stockholm, yeah, it's more indoors. But it's
Absolutely, yeah.
definitely active.
And then could you tell me about the dance aspect with hip work?
Yes. So during when I was living in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy,
Nice.
I was teaching at a YMCA gym. I've been teaching dance, like dance hall dance classes at dance schools for many years, like 20 years.
That's dope.
And then when I started teaching at gyms, I wanted to change my approach a bit. So, to mix fitness and dance, but make it seamless. So that's when I came up with a concept name, hip work. Because it's, I don't like the word twerk, but so it's almost twerk, but it's work.
I mean, you are working your hips.
Yeah. And this concept in particular is great towards women, but men are also welcome because everybody needs to know how to move their hips.
Yeah, right.
And
don't want to come stiff there.
So I use dance hall, Afrobeat, soca, and music mostly. So it's a good vibe. It's a good workout.
I agree. I mean, I've seen some of the videos. They do look intense, though.
Yeah, because usually people just dance in the club or they don't have the courage to dance. But I just want to make it, accessible for everyone to go out and they don't have to bust, like be in the middle of the circle and bust a freestyle. But, just do your thing without thinking about like, oh, what other people think about me and, oh, I can't do it because I'm stiff. Just do it,
Absolutely. And it's interesting because now that you say that, because I think about it from, let's say, not only the fitness aspect, but also the dancing, like you said, usually people have, I guess, holdups about doing it in public. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a very healthy way to create a space that is inviting for you just to let go and have fun.
Yeah, that's the point of it all. I don't want to keep it just in the gym. Like people will take a class and then they never do it again, or they keep it separate in their lives. But I want it to be, if they're at home cooking or waiting for the bus, they can like start whine a little bit.
Exactly.
Because also if we talk chakras, the hips, it's a very important chakra. You keep a lot of tension and emotions and feelings there. So especially in Sweden, where people don't really move their hips a lot in general, like it's not in our culture, and also it's cold. So
absolutely. So things get really rigid there.
Yeah.
So that would be the solar sacral plexus around there?
I don't know the technical name. It's like the second chakra. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's sacral. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
the tagline is "Start whining, stop complaining."
I like that because I do not appreciate complainers.
No, right? It's not productive at all. So.
And then, as you were saying before, off camera, is just whenever you have Afro beats or reggae dancehall, there's always positive vibes.
Yeah.
And you usually have cool dances that go with the songs, and those also elevate positivity as well.
Yeah,
too.
positivity and community. Because dancehall, I mean, a lot of dances, but dancehall in particular is all about community. You do the dance together. And the biggest dances that get, worldwide known is pretty easy dances. It's like signal or playing, or, everybody can do it, like from young to old. So it brings everybody together, and also it spreads because, people, like Japan was early on with going to Jamaica and learning the dances, learning patois.
Exactly.
And then the rest of the world now, like Sweden's been into it for a long time, and Russia. So it brings people together from like unlikely places.
It's true, and I'm so glad you're saying this because not a lot of people in America know, and maybe possibly even in Jamaica know it's that widespread in places in Europe like that. It's a really big movement.
Yeah, it is, and it's thankfully now it's getting Jamaican dancers jobs to go abroad and teach. Because when I went to New York, when I moved there in 2009-ish, and I said that I love dancehall, people are like, huh? What do you mean, like dance, like couple dancing?
Oh, like ballroom dancing.
Yeah, like no, like Jamaican dance. They're like, so what is that? Like, maybe you've seen a Sean Paul video
or something, right?
And even like people of Caribbean descent were asking me like, you teach dancehall? Like, how does that work? I'm like, it's a dance style, it's a culture, like everything else. Because people are so used to hip hop but remember early days in the hip hop. People didn't know that you had all these like different dance styles, dance steps.
Well, breakdance and everything, right?
Right. And hip hop started, from a Jamaican DJ, so it's all mashed together.
Absolutely, especially now. I mean, we even see songs like Ed Sheeran with "Shape of You" having reggae drums. So we're seeing that trend more, especially with artists like Drake.
Yeah.
And the prominence of Toronto-based artists, which is another huge dance hall.
Big up.
Big up to the Six, absolutely.
And then, it's amazing to see.
Yeah.
And also, like the creators being put in the spotlight more as well. It's for me that's very important because I'm not from Jamaican culture. I'm not from Nigeria, but I love it. So I want to share it with the rest of the world. So that's kind of, I guess, where my marketing started because I was like, I would love dancehall. I want everybody else to love dancehall too. So, I tried to push the culture as much as possible from wherever I'm at.
And that's so dope. And especially as a marketer, as you were saying before, sometimes you actually do need to put your essentially your product or your content in front of certain people who never even considered the content, but they would actually love it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Instead of, coming from the other end of corporate, like, oh, we see that the kids like this, so let's call in this hip hop choreographer so they can choreograph a dancehall piece or, whatever aspect that is. Then it becomes, something that's fabricated and not real.
Exactly. I mean, authenticity is always key in marketing and advertising because we'll know, especially as the audience and consumers, like even though we have a creative marketing mindset, you can always feel when something's authentic and when it isn't.
Yeah.
And you never want to be forced, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a DJ, that fascinates me as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about creating our own dance and a song and then making that a movement as well?
Good idea. Because, as I said, I don't sing, but and I don't produce, but of course, it's something that I would like to do in the future, producing. But right now, I'm kind of like, I have a lot on my plate already, so I'm just trying to focus on the things I have in front of me right now. But yeah, I might take you up on that.
That would be pretty dope. And out of curiosity, what is it like DJing for those who have never been on the turntables?
It's scary.
I can imagine, right?
Because going from being a dance teacher, I always pick songs, so I'm a selector in a way.
Yeah.
But being in front of a crowd in a club where people don't, especially like the places where people don't have the same taste in music, is varied. And then you have to really think about, okay, I can't just play the songs I want to play.
Exactly, right?
You can't be too selfish as a DJ.
You kind of have to be a host as well.
Yeah. So it's you have to think about the timing and the flow of the room, and
Exactly.
it's a lot of psychology behind it. And as like DJ is something I do like here and there, but always when I do it, I love it, and I always think like I want to do it more. But it's right now I'm like focusing more on the marketing stuff, but DJing is definitely something I want to keep in my life.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like it's always a good skill to have. Like me myself, I play piano, so I always try to play piano whenever I can, just to keep the skills sharp a little bit.
Yeah, and it's also a great way to communicate with people.
A fantastic way. I mean, music is a universal language, as is dance.
Yeah.
Laughter. So it's all related. Absolutely.
For example, when I went to Nigeria, it was for a marketing internship.
Oh.
To be at an agency that deals with like digital ads. So I didn't think about like I was gonna DJ, but then when people found out I was DJing as well, they were like, "Oh, it's called DJ our party." So then I found myself in Nigeria and Lagos, playing Afrobeats and reggae and dance hall, and they were like, "How do you know these songs? How do you know these dances?" And I'm like, "I love the culture, man." And there's internet, so I've seen the dances.
Absolutely.
But it's amazing when you're actually at the spot and you get to meet people face to face. That's when the connection is solidified, because over you can watch people on YouTube or Instagram, but it's not the same.
Exactly. When you experience it in person, I mean, I felt it when I came to Stockholm. So I would hear about the reggae dancehall scene. But when you actually experience it, it's even that much more powerful.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to go to Jamaica plenty of times in my life. So just to see that same energy in a different location, especially that's synonymous with being cold, I think that's just phenomenal.
Yeah. It's amazing how it's. I was in the beginning when dancehall started to become popular here. I'm not gonna say I was the first one that brought dancehall to Sweden, but I was part of the first wave, you can say.
And around what year was that?
Like early 2000s.
Okay. So around back when Sean Paul was
when he was breaking out, and Chucky Demus and Pliers, and I was ordering DVDs from the Pasa parties, just to like, all right, what's happening? What are new dances?
Yeah.
So I've seen it grow, and then when I moved to New York, then I saw in Sweden it was really like popping off. So that was awesome.
Yeah. And then as a DJ, is there a specific crowd that you would love to perform? Like maybe a crowd that's not used to dancehall, but you think if you played this specific lineup of songs, they would, be turned to the dark side, let's say.
Yeah. Specific crowd. Like you say, it's people that might not know all the songs, but there might be also some like people that know it, so you can see people uniting. It sounds cliche, but it's like people can really meet on dance floors and vibe together, even if they're completely different, have come from different backgrounds. So
yeah,
like I played a birthday party for like a completely white audience not too long ago, so I sneaked in some dancehall, reggae, Afrobeats.
Absolutely.
And it's always interesting to see reactions, even if they don't know it. Like the bodies automatically start moving. So yeah, it's fun.
And then as a DJ, do you ever get on the dance floor and encourage people to dance as well?
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I try to keep separated though, because learning to DJ was also like I had to unlearn being a dancer, like the dancer's mindset. Because as a dancer, you're like play the new songs, and as a DJ, like okay, it's later in the night, like it's not time for that yet.
Exactly, you gotta build up to that.
Right, and like not everyone is gonna be into the alkalines right now.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, if the mood strikes, of course. Yeah.
And then do you have, since you mentioned Alkaline, do you have any dancehall, reggae, Afro beat artists that you follow on a regular basis?
There's many of them. Of course, like Vibes Cartel is always dropping hot songs from jail.
Big up.
Movado, the Spice. I love Spice. Her stage show is amazing. I think she's one of the best that comes out of Jamaica when it comes to performing right now. Of course, Coffee. That's coming from the youth aspect and just doing it super big right now.
And she actually performed at the Super Bowl. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Afrobeats wise, of course, Burna Boy, Wizkid,
Gotta love Burna Boy, yeah.
Tiwa Savage. She's coming to Sweden soon, I heard. So
really?
yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of upcoming artists as well from Nigeria that I support and listen to. So yeah, check out my playlists on Spotify.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do that. We'll have a link in the description for that.
Yes, because there's so many. And also, I started listening more to Swedish music. Actually, like I've been kind of resisting it for a long time, but it's getting to me now. Especially because I work also with Babas now. It's very closely connected with Swedish hip hop.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of talented kids here that producing and rapping and singing. So.
That's a great point, and I have to shout out Dree Low because it was through your guys' marketing that I actually discovered Dree Low as well, and that was through the Babas campaign.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That video got a lot of good feedback.
So Hanna, could you tell us about your Black and Gold NYC dance crew?
Yes, Black Gold.
Black Gold, yeah.
That was always our it's not black and gold, it's Black Gold.
Black Gold, yeah. That's even better actually.
Yes, we take it back. Also, when I first moved to New York, I was into dancehall and I wanted to learn more and dance with people that can teach me more things and we can exchange. So after a little while, I came in contact with Genius and History.
Wow,
that's their dancer names / real names, and we really clicked. And we did one show together, and then we're like, we should practice more together. We should do more shows. We have fun together. So, and then we became Black Gold because I love gold and they're black. So we we had like bad imagination. We're like, all right, Black Gold is cool.
I love gold.
So we had a good run, like doing shows. We created some dances. I don't know if it was some years back, there was this like viral video with a guy who was talking about a river that was there was a river overflowing in Jamaica, and then nobody can cross it. That became a song. And
I think I remember that movement. Yeah,
it was like early, like when things became viral, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we made a dance to that, and that people started doing it in Jamaica. I heard. So yeah, we had fun and we taught classes every week. We were like the only crew that taught classes every week back then, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we danced with some artists like Mr. Vegas and
wow,
Mr. Lex. And
big up.
So yeah, it was great. And now when I live here, of course, we can't see each other and dance together that often, but we still keep in touch. And whenever I'm in New York, we teach together, and whenever they're in Europe, we link up. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I also see you're a bit of an A&R as well.
Yeah, because I've been in dancing and consuming music, and then getting in touch with artists. It was a kind of natural step from let's connect dots, like let's build bridges. So especially with the producer crew, Mashup International, I linked them with, because they've been very Swedish based and they have a following in Sweden. But their beats are super good and global. So I connected them with Jamaican artists. So we created a bunch of songs now due to my linking.
Yeah, the collaboration.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite certain after people see and hear this interview, they'll be contacting you to do the same things, which is gonna be cool.
Oh yeah. Link me.
Yeah.
For collabs.
And when's the last time you've been to Jamaica?
It's been too long now. It's been almost 3 years, I think. Yeah, it's time.
I definitely think it's time to go back. Yeah,
because as you know, it's a very fast-moving culture. So there are new dances, new music, new talks coming out every day.
The ting.
Yeah. Because I was in Nigeria, but kind of, my focus kind of switched a little bit because I was like, I love it here when I was in Lagos. But like dance hall and Jamaican culture will always be, like a big love for me. So
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Hanna, before we wrap
Yes.
up, are there any projects that we should be looking forward to, and just keep an eye on your progress and your collaboration and creativity?
Yeah, sure. It's you can follow me. Hanna is golden. Hanna Herbertson, Hanna Jung Herbertson on all the social media platforms.
That's a dope handle, by the way. Hanna is golden. I love that.
I have my very Swedish sounding last name, but then I decided to change it because my DJ name is DJ Golden.
I like that. Yeah.
So,
You love gold.
right? I love gold. So yeah, that's my handle, and yeah, of course, follow Baba's Burgers. Be on the lookout for Angelica. She's about to drop new music. Just link me for all the marketing stuff and dance stuff, music.
Absolutely, and you'll see it all on her profile as well with the hip work and the Black Gold NYC.
Yep. All of that. I'm on all platforms, of course. LinkedIn, TikTok.
Yeah, I'll definitely be following you on LinkedIn after we finish this up.
Great. Yes. And thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you for joining us, and we really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing your passion and creativity with the world.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Nice.
I'm in front of me see you on the corner. Pane road hotter than a sauna. Annalisa, Daniela, me see Carla. Bobu girl, Bobu say the water. Send me get a text. That's the from me crib. Walk right past me ex. Me see I set a twin. Double using. iPhone ring. Just I come from the Oxford Street. It stress me need a drink, no rant with me. If you burn it, let me see a light your tree. Me love the girl, she said she half Chinese. Say me go and go party. Naughty. Them a go and they want go past me. But they naughty. Boy I say, I just can't have to take a man over. Me take the Henny like we never was sober. See me enemy, me look for me soldier. They wanna see the friend named Super Soccer. He sing like